Morning.
How much, when you look at the last 7 games, how much has the face-off battle kind of impacted the way that these games have gone last night?
I would say Carolina second period really hurt us because we never started with the puck. Really chased it there, and that's when the game started to get away from us halfway through the period, right? Chicago game, I was surprised we didn't do well enough in the circle for a team that's on paper not strong. But then we do win a face-off at the end of the first period, rim a puck and lose the battle and ends up in our net. So, it hurts us. That's an age-old argument. How important is it starting with the puck? I think there's analytics or stats that can make an argument for both ways. We would prefer to start with it, especially when, you're making up ground for sure. D-zone draws are important, so you're not expending a lot of energy, and that certainly hurt us. I can't tell you the other 5 games, honestly. I don't know in Nashville. We gave up a goal, the second goal. It was a quick puck battle. I'm not even sure we lost the draw. If you remember the Forsberg goal, it was to the our goalie's where you are was this circle, so whatever, his left, he just stepped in and whacked it in, and it was kind of a 50-50. I would say that's where we need to be better, is in those undetermined possession face-offs. Where we're not on our toes enough to win the face-off with the 4 people around the center, not necessarily get center getting it clean.
Does it impact a lot when, because it seems like a lot lately, the center's been kicked out enough?
Hurdle's been kicked out a lot, especially in the power play. I'll agree with you there. And then some nights I'll look at the sheet. We'll do a pre-scout, right? So we're playing St. Louis against, that won't matter. But let's say we didn't play them yesterday, and I'll look and I'll see 9 different guys took face-offs. I'm like, okay, the league must be sending out a memorandum again to get them squared up, because that's when you know, right? When there's so many different, that means they're kicking a center out every time. If it's just Hurdle, then you'd probably see Olofsson taking a lot of draws, or Pav. I'm not sure who even goes in, to be honest with you. Power play, it's going to be Jack. So anyway, I don't know, I'd cut you off there, but that's happened to him a lot, I've noticed, in the power play for sure.
What you said after the game last night, you were kind of trying to maybe get your head around how you felt about the game. Jack scores in overtime, maybe you feel better.
I'd have felt a lot better, Dave. A lot.
14 hours later, where are you
Yep.
with it? Where your team's at this stage of the season?
No, listen, we talked about it, and you break up the season. So our segment right now that we're focusing on is, say, the last 7 games, because that's where we haven't been as good, and we're not finishing as well, and we're not getting saves. It's 1-goal games every time, and it kind of said that we need a little better from the goaltending department over the last 7 games. We need a little better with the finishing department. Like last night, our stats, we were off net with a lot of our best chances, including Jack in overtime, right? So that's what's going on, and it's a 1-goal difference in that stretch. It's 4-3 in Nashville. We started poorly. We deserved to be in a hole, but we dug ourselves out of it. Chicago, we start well. We have a bad 5 minutes. We tie the game. You know what I mean? It's coming down to a play here or there. And even the first goal we give up last night, we win the draw. We win the face-off, right? And we don't execute a play. They're coming back. They get behind us. They score off the rush. So it's not like we got dominated in ozone possession time. We're not getting buried. Carolina, yes, in the second period, the last 10, we addressed some of that. Face-offs, we weren't winning them to get ourselves, some fresh legs out there. But in general, that hasn't been the case. Nashville, as I said, was a poor start. I think the Ranger game, we got better as we went along. The Islanders, we gave up the first goal and kind of a broken play, and then we're chasing it. So there's that's where we're at. So if you're asking me just about the St. Louis, I like that we found a way to score 2 goals, 6 on 5. It's probably not going to happen again this year. So that's good. That's a positive, right? We got a point because of that. You watch the game again. We generate a lot of good looks. Again, we're off net with some of them. That to me happens from time to time. It's just happening a lot lately for us, so we'll get that. I think we're one of the top teams in the league in hitting the net with our high danger chances. So we're an accurate team. There's going to come a time that gets away. So I don't think we're playing poorly. We're just playing poorly in stretches that are hurting us, that we're having to chase the game. That's where we're playing poorly. It's not 60 minutes. It's pockets of it. So we got to square that away. I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but I've told the group, we're the team that does that, where we make the right play at the right time a lot of times against other teams, i.e. scoring in the last minute, not giving up, not taking a bad penalty in the last minute, not giving up a goal in the last minute. Lately, the shoe's on the other foot when it comes to that. We're the ones kind of self-inflicted stuff that we have to correct.
You said Saturday in Chicago, things are going to change until the guys got sick losing. In the dressing room this morning, a number of comments were, we got to get out of this. This is old. Tired of this. Is that music to your ears?
Yes, because they're the ones that eventually. Listen, they play 82 games, and they know that there's another one coming around the corner. So coaches, when the game's over for players, a lot of times, yeah, they're going to reflect, but they're going to park it quicker, right? They move on, and that's the way it is. Coaches don't. You're analyzing, you're overanalyzing. When you're losing, are you overanalyzing? You know what I mean? There's stuff going on. So I believe that's the case. They'll just go out and say, okay, that's it. We're all going to have maximum effort tonight, and we're going to do whatever it takes, and you probably win a low-scoring game because, like I said, we're not, maybe the dam breaks and we get a lot, but that's probably how you get out of it usually. That's what I suspect we'll need to do.
So what was the temperature like at practice today?
It was freezing in here, to be honest with you. I'm glad someone asked because it's been cold all morning. Do you guys not notice that? It's freezing in the hallways and everywhere in here. So the temperature is probably low. That's what it is. Now, anyway, it is cold outside, but that's okay. It's January. It shouldn't be cold inside. Anyway, sorry, Aaron.
What was the intensity like at practice today?
I liked it. Energy level right now, you got to be careful. Okay, so you're not getting the results you want, right? So we haven't had a lot of practice time. So today, do we put the work boots on and, hey, this is unacceptable and have one of those old school type of days? We have a bit of an old school team, so I think they would respect that part of it. They have some of that mentality in there, right? So I checked with the guys, but there's a certain level of fatigue. We played 3 and 4.5 days. There was travel in there. There was a late night from Chicago. No excuses, but so that does take some of your energy. 3:00 game. I knew we'd have a tough time. The wheels would be spinning early. I just thought, but we got through that, right? Other than the last goal in the first, that's we needed to get through another 30 seconds. So as a coach, you're like, would you want to send a message at the expense of? We're short a couple of guys for practice today. There's a bit of an illness. That was Howie today. We had it with Olofsson. Jack, you know what I mean? So is that going around? It is in general. So how do you treat that? So we did a kind of half and half. Hey, we're going to do some work, but we cut it probably in half of what, when you left the building last night, you're like, okay, you have your practice in mind. You know exactly what you're going to do with the work. So we probably cut it in half. So that, I don't know if that answers your question about energy. I liked our energy out there. We got the work done we needed to. We did some battling, some boxing out, some low 2-on-2s, which are basically 1-on-1s. But we still moved the puck and did some things that, to address scoring too, and hopefully get their confidence up. Some attacks without a lot of resistance. So it's a little bit of both.
Bruce, last night when I brought up the comparison of this current stretch to 2 years ago, you'd said that the guys that you had discussed that, and you kind of brought that up to whomever. But you also pointed out that team was missing some players and injured, where now you're fully healthy. There's something that this team could take a lesson from. Safe to say that when you're facing adversity like 2 years ago, you come together and play better as a team, whereas now a collection of individuals trying to do too much. That team might have been better in a sense of coming together.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you could look at with that. I mean, it's a good comparable, obviously. Every team is different. I think what happens is a little bit what happened earlier this year. When we got on our run, we knew that, guys walk through the door like, oh, we're missing this guy, that guy. I need to bring a little more tonight. And it's a little bit of that. And that's going back to Gary's question. Like, that's where collectively as a group, we have to be fed up and say, okay, I'm going to bring a little more tonight. And if every guy walks through the door, we're in good shape doing that. And there does come a time when you have to do that. So what happened 2 years ago, I don't know. I just think the teams were outplaying us sometimes because, you know, we were missing key guys that make a difference in the game every night. So, and then there's always pockets of the year where it doesn't go your way. What did we hit 2 posts again last? We're in one of those. And maybe 2 years ago was the same thing, and we were missing key guys to move the needle on the power play or whatever, right? So, but as far as guys that were here 2 years ago, I don't know if that's going through their head. I really don't. We can talk about it, but every year has its new, kind of takes on its own life. So I don't know that they'd be thinking of that. I am, because I got lots of free time. And like I said, you're always mulling over stuff. What can we do? Where's the solution? Where is the solution to get us winning hockey games? And that's what I was saying. Like I was talking to Krim this morning too about that. If it was one thing, like if we were giving up 7 every night and we were leaky and porous in slot coverage, we could go out on the ice and get, you know, just hammer away on it. But it seems to be a little bit of situational last minute. So how do you practice playing better in the last minute? Well, I'm not sure you do. I think that's right there, right? Like, so Thursday night, last minute, let's get dialed in to the point where you're uber focused, as you know, and not sort of have the attitude, well, we can overcome it. Because it's good to have that attitude. I mean, we have come back a lot, even when we're winning. So that's a great quality in this locker room. These guys are not, we're never out of a game, and they feel that way, and that's great. I just don't want to rely on that. That can't be, well, let's get behind and come back every night. That's a poor formula, too, I think, in the long run.
Hyman said he's never seen a player prepare for a game like Jack does. When someone of his stature sets that time, how valuable is that?
Well, when your best players are your hardest working in practice and the guys that are most professional, then you know, that's, for a coach, GM, a culture of your organization, I mean, that's the first thing you'd want. Because every young guy that walks through the door is going to look at that and say, well, I guess that's the way we do it around here, so that's the way I'm going to do it if I want to stay around here. So to me, that's fantastic. I've been very fortunate. I had it in Boston with Zdeno Chara and Patrice Bergeron. I've had it here now with Alex Pietrangelo, Mark Stone, Jack Eichel. So for me, it's you know, it's awesome.
And Jack obviously always played at a high level, but it seems like he's taking up his game even more this season. Is there anything you've seen do different, or?
You know, what it is, my feeling on this in general is walks into training camp September, some guys that had voices around here, you know, some guys that had been here a while are no longer here, and I think he saw a little bit of a void and said, I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to bring that. Now, he always spoke up, but I think it's even more this year, knowing that some of the new guys coming in are not going to, like, you know, that's not going to be Olofsson. And even though Pav's our leading goal scorer, he's probably not the guy that, you know what I mean? So he just felt that he would take it upon himself. I think Kolasar has done a little more of that too. So but Jack has done a great job with that, and that's what I've seen since September. Carly's a maintenance day. We expect he'll be on the plane tomorrow to St. Louis, and Howie, we hope. That one will have to play itself out. See how he feels tomorrow morning. Schwinn is week to week, lower body. That one was took us I don't know if I was asked yesterday, but anyway, that's where he's at. So he'll be a bit.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you.